And that's the only way you can progress as far as strength and building muscle mass, okay? You have to push yourself harder than you did the previous week. Hey guys, Mark McKillier with Live Anabolic. Today, I'm going to talk about 5 different training tips for us men over 60. And this is going to be a high-level video. Okay, so most of the stuff that Gary and I shoot, we get into real specific stuff, you know, detailed exercise by exercise explanations of what you should do. And, you know, that's got its place, and that's what most of our videos are. But from time to time, I like to talk about things from like a 30,000 foot perspective, okay? And that's what this video is going to be. So it's going to be kind of general information, but for a lot of you guys, you know, you need to know this kind of basic foundational information before you get into the nitty-gritty details, okay, of each individual exercise and nutrition and the whole 9 yards. So that's what this video is today. 5 just kind of general high-level tips on how to build muscle for guys over 60. Okay, guys, before I get into those tips, just real quick, click the link below this video and join our Facebook group. You don't have to use your real name. You don't have to post any pictures of yourself. You can remain anonymous. But I promise you will get some great stuff out of it. I'm the moderator, so I'm in there every day, okay? And there's over 20,000 guys. It's just like us, okay? So it's not just workout stuff. It's nutrition, it's injury prevention, and a lot of funny stuff in there. So it's free, and, you know, there's not a lot of free things that are really, really free, all right, in the world, and this is one of them, okay? There is no hidden costs, all right? So I urge you to do it, and then also help us spread the word about this YouTube channel. And the best way to do that is to like it, share this video with other people, and then of course subscribe to the channel, because YouTube looks at all those statistics, and the more of you guys that do that, the more they recommend us to other men around the world who are looking for similar content. All right, so tip number 1, guys, is, and this is kind of hard to explain, and that is you got to listen to your body. And for beginners, okay, it's going to be a little more obscure than for guys that have been doing this for a while, okay? And when I say listen to your body, I'm talking about, are you injured, or are you just kind of fatigued for a couple of days, all right? Are you just experiencing delayed onset muscle soreness? That's called DOMS, okay? 2 different things. Do you just need a break? If you've been working out pretty steady, consistently, without taking any days off, without, you know, that kind of deal, you will start to kind of figure out over time when you need a break. And then you have to determine whether why you're fatigued. Are you fatigued because you just been killing it hard and really going after it and being consistent, all right, for several months in a row? Or is it really because you probably need better sleep and better nutrition? You know, most guys over 60 are probably not fatigued and worn out because they've been working too hard. I mean, working too hard at their exercise routines, okay? You may be working really hard at work, and that may be causing fatigue, but I'm saying most guys who are feeling kind of run down are not run down because they're hitting their workouts programs so consistently and so hard that they just need a rest. That actually happens to me once every probably 3 or 4 months. You know, I have the luxury of being able to go to the gym and not a lot of other things. So working out is my priority. But I will from time to time go, God, you know, I'm getting the same amount of sleep. I'm eating just as well as I normally do, but I am just dead tired. And not just today, I've been dead tired all week. And that is because when I stop and think about it, wow, I've been working hard at the weights, hard for 3 months straight without really taking, you know, any time off. And when I say time off, I mean like a week off. And so that's what you guys need to figure out. Listen to your body and determine what's really going on there. Sometimes it's because you're working out too hard, but most of the time it's not. Most of the time it's because you're not getting enough sleep or your nutrition is off. Okay, so tip number 2, guys, you can't forget about training your core. All right. I don't like training my core. All right. So that's why I typically train my core while I'm resting in between sets doing different muscle groups. Let's say it's chest day and I'm just focused on doing my chest. I'll do an exercise. All right. Now I got to wait a minute or longer before I do another set, right? Well, instead of just sitting there staring at my watch, I'll do some core work, okay? And so I can do that in between every single set. And heck, I might be doing 16 sets of chest. So that technically means I could do 16 sets of core. Now, I don't do that many, but I might do, 9 or 10 sets of core, which is real easy, guys. And why is that important? Well, it's not just about, creating really good looking abs, because really abs are made in the kitchen. Working on your abs is basically the same thing as working on your core. And the reason why that's so important as we get older, our back. It helps strengthen and protect us from injuring our back. All right. And I'm not just talking about pulling a muscle in our back. I'm talking about those vertebrae. Okay. Having a good strong core will help minimize your chances of blowing out a disc in your back. And that was not nearly as big of a concern when we were in our 20s and 30s, right? All right. But as we get older, I'm not sure what's going on with those discs in our vertebrae, in our back, but we're far more likely to herniate a disc as we get older. And if you really focus on your core every week, you will minimize that risk of a serious back injury. Okay, so tip number 3, guys, is please do not create your own workout programs. Yes, Gary and I have got dozens. Actually, we have hundreds of videos right here on this YouTube channel on all different kinds of workouts. But they are just that. They're individual workouts. They're not comprehensive, multi-phase, multi-month programs, okay? So don't try to create your own custom workout program. Please follow one of Gary's programs or one of my programs that we sell here at Live Anabolic. And I realize I'm kind of pushing my own stuff here, but I see far too many guys asking questions that are just total beginner questions on this on our Facebook group. All right. Not necessarily on this YouTube channel. And, it kind of pains me. I mean, these are questions that that you shouldn't be asking. You should be going straight to a professional. All right. Plus, if you're following a program that I put together or Gary's put together, first of all, it was done by somebody who's a professional and is in the industry and knows what we're doing. Okay. But secondly, it's actually fun to follow programs that somebody else has done for you, where somebody's just telling you, this is what you need to do today, and you need to do something different tomorrow, and something different the next week, and something different the next month. And so Gary and I go through a lot of trouble, all right, to put together really well thought out programs. And I really make an effort to change things up, okay, especially from phase to phase to phase, which is multi-month. And that's why I think Fit After 50 has been, such a hit worldwide. I mean, we've sold well over 100,000 copies of my program. And so really, guys, it's one thing to just kind of get on YouTube and look at some videos that I've done, or go to a different, competing channel and look at some videos somebody else has done and try to put your own stuff together. But I promise you'll get way more out of it if you just pick a single program and stick with, what a professional is telling you to do on a daily and monthly basis. Okay, so tip number 4, guys, is you need to push yourself out of your comfort zone. This is typically not a problem that I have to worry about with 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds, okay? Because they're all gung-ho, and it's about lifting heavy and straining and building muscles as fast and as much as possible. And so those guys typically are like, I don't have to worry about, okay, pushing them out of their comfort zone. But a lot of times as you get older, especially over the age of 60, a lot of men think you just can't strain. You're just too old to strain and push yourself hard. Well, that's not the case. Now, that is the case if you're just beginning and it's your first month And my workout program specifically tells you don't push yourself too hard. It tells you how, my program, I actually tell you how to pick weights, all right, and how hard to go, all right. I tell you how to gauge that. But after you've gotten into the swing of things, for 2 or 3 months, that's when your ligaments, your joints, your tendons, the muscles, everything's kind of starting to work. Even if you're still way overweight, your body is now prepared to be pushed harder. And that's the only way you can progress as far as strength and building muscle mass, okay? You have to push yourself harder than you did the previous week, all right, and the previous month. And I just don't see most men over 60 training hard enough. And that means with intensity, okay? So once you've got your body in shape and it's okay to really strain, that's when you need to start training close to failure, meaning on every set, all right, you need to be close to failure on those last couple of reps. Otherwise, you need to increase the weight or the band resistance. Okay, finally, last tip, number 5, protein. Guys, protein is really important, all right? So no matter how hard you're pushing yourself, all right, number 4, you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, you're killing it, you're straining it. If you're not getting enough protein day in and day out on a consistent basis, you're not going to see as much muscle growth as your body would like to give you, because there's just not enough protein there to repair those muscle fibers correctly, okay? And so, what we're doing when we're working out, we're actually intentionally damaging millions and millions and billions of little tiny muscle fibers, okay? So you're creating trauma, and your body takes protein and breaks it down into amino acids, okay? And then your muscles use those amino acids to repair the injured fibers. And your body is just smart enough to know that when it repairs those muscle fibers, it builds them back just a tiny bit bigger and just a tiny bit stronger than they were previously. I mean, a tiny bit. But you do that every day, month after month after month. Those muscles get bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger, and that's how you grow. But if they're not getting enough amino acids that come from the protein that you eat every day, then you don't get 100% of the benefit of that workout. So why kill yourself working out if you're only going to get 50, 60, 70% of the benefit because you're not getting enough protein? And so there are tons of videos on this channel about how to get protein, about great sources of protein, all right? This is not one of those videos. What I'm saying is that's the hardest macronutrient for me to get enough of. It's easy to get enough carbs, right? Carbs are everywhere, all right? It's easy to get enough fat. Protein is another thing. And that's why a lot of times, especially myself, I have to use protein supplements like whey protein powder, and that is totally fine. Use the search feature here in our YouTube channel, all right, to find other videos that Gary and I have shot for you to figure out how to get enough protein, because we have a lot of good examples for you. All right, so 5 just, simple, straightforward, high-level tips on how you should train, especially for us older guys. I'm 61 years old now, and so I didn't get into a lot of specifics today, but just generally speaking, if you stick with all these tips and don't give up on yourself, I promise you're going to see some fantastic results.